Oh, this right here ain't just gossip. This is Hollywood heartbreak meets Atlanta chaos. T.I., the self-proclaimed king of the South, is now the father of the most talked-about inmate in hip-hop history. Yep, you heard that right. King Harris, the prince who was born into fame, diamonds, and daddy's money, just got slammed with 5 years behind bars. And T.I.? He's not just speechless, the man is in tears. Now, before you clutch your pearls. Let's be honest, this story makes Keeping Up with the Kardashians look like Sunday school. The courtroom scene? Straight out of a Netflix drama. Cameras flashing, fans crying, and T.I. standing there like a man watching his empire crumble in slow motion. And the internet? The memes hit faster than TMZ notifications. Everyone's asking, how did the son of a rap legend go from red carpets to prison jumpsuits? But here's the kicker. This story isn't just about crime. It's about pride, parenting, and public downfall. Because when fame meets rebellion, somebody's gonna break, and this time it wasn't the streets. Buckle up, y'all. This ain't just a scandal, it's a hip-hop tragedy. Wrapped in designer guilt. Let's rewind the tape, because this didn't happen overnight. This wasn't some random got caught moment. Nah, this was years in the making, the slow-motion car crash. We all saw coming but hoped would swerve at the last second. King Harris, the son of rap royalty T.I. and Tiny, grew up in a mansion but wanted the streets. Imagine being born with money, fame, and privilege, and still wanting to prove you're real. That's like a rich kid sneaking into detention just to feel tough. It all started as small headlines, fights, arguments, club altercations. The kind of chaos every celebrity parent calls just teenage stuff. But when you're a Harris, teenage stuff comes with TMZ cameras and viral hashtags. Every move King made became a meme. Every word he said became a debate on whether T.I. failed as a father or if King was just another entitled rebel on a crash course with reality. And oh, that reality hit hard. Sources close to the situation say the final straw came after months of tension, the internet roasting King for bragging about his street life while literally living in a mansion with an elevator. Twitter was ruthless. TikTok users dug up every clip of him talking tough, calling him Beverly Hills Gangsta. And when you mix ego, embarrassment, and pressure, that's a recipe for disaster. Then, boom, the news broke. King Harris arrested? Charges? Multiple counts, including possession, resisting arrest, and an altercation that allegedly turned violent. Suddenly, the kid who flexed his realness online was about to find out how real life behind bars really gets, and the world lost its mind. One moment, it was rumors. The next, mugshots were flooding social media faster than rap lyrics at a bet cipher. Every gossip blog, every YouTube channel, every podcast, all screaming the same thing. How did it come to this? Now picture this, T.I., the man who built an empire off being the ultimate hustler, the motivational mogul, the family man of hip-hop, sitting in that courtroom, eyes red, face hard, jaw clenched, watching his son stand before a judge in a jumpsuit. The cameras flashing, the crowd whispering. That's not a song lyric. That's a nightmare. People said T.I. looked like he aged 10 years in one hearing. Tiny held his hand, tears streaming down her face. And King, still defiant. Still trying to keep that tough guy posture even as the weight of his choices started to crush him from the inside. It was like watching a family's image kneel under the heat of truth. The perfect celebrity family mask cracked wide open, and the internet was there to zoom in on every shard. Because this wasn't just another celebrity scandal. This was generational pain playing out in public. The father who taught millions how to hustle smart now watching his son hustle wrong. The same man who turned the trap into an empire, now trapped in guilt. T.I. tried to warn him. The interviews are all out there. T.I. saying things like, "My son's gonna have to learn the hard way." Well, mission accomplished. The hard way came with a sentence, but the drama didn't stop there. As the courtroom emptied, the internet filled with chaos. Fans were split down the middle. Some felt sorry for T.I., saying, "You can't control kids forever. At some point, they make their own choices." Others said, "Nah, this is on him. He raised King in fame but didn't raise him in focus." And just when it couldn't get worse, it did, because the judge wasn't playing. The rumors of probation or rehab gone. King was officially sentenced 5 years. 5 long years behind bars. You could hear the collective gasp echo across social media like a stadium roar. Some said it was too harsh. Others said it was deserved. But one thing everyone agreed on? This wasn't just a sentence, it was a statement. And in that moment, you could see it. T.I.'s confidence cracked. That man who always had a slick line, a joke, a speech. Silent, his eyes said everything. The pain of a father, the shock of a legend realizing fame can't fix this. As they led King out of the courtroom, sources say he looked back once, just once, and locked eyes with his dad. No words, no tears. Just a look that said, "I did this my way." And that's what broke T.I. completely. The man who's faced rappers, haters. The law now facing something far more terrifying, losing his son to the same streets he tried to escape. It's poetic. It's tragic. It's painfully real. And as the world dissected every second, every frame, every reaction, the question burned brighter than ever. Was this the price of fame? Or the cost of ignoring the warning signs? Because one thing's for sure, when the King of the South cries in open court, the whole world watches. The internet didn't just react, it exploded. Within hours, hashtag Free King Harris was trending across Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Fans were splicing together clips of King flexing on IG Live, shouting, "I'm built for this," and overlaying it with jail memes. The comment sections? Straight chaos. Half the people were clowning him, half were calling for mercy, and all of them were watching. One tweet summed it up perfectly. King Harris wanted to be a street dude so bad. The universe said, "Say less." Brutal. But accurate. Meanwhile, social media detectives started digging. Receipts everywhere. Screenshots, old lives. Wild sound bites. The same fans who once hyped him for being real were now calling him out for reckless. The hypocrisy was chef's kiss. And while the internet laughed, the Harris family was in lockdown mode. Tiny reportedly refused to leave the house for days. T.I. went silent online, no inspirational quotes. No big words, no expeditiously, just radio silence. The man who usually lectures the world was now living through the very headlines he warned others about. But let's be real, this wasn't just a family issue. This was a cultural event. Every hip-hop blog, gossip channel, and podcast was eating this story for breakfast. Commentators called it the fall of a dynasty. Others called it karma catching up. Some were just messy, like one YouTuber saying, "T.I. raised a gangster in Gucci slides." Still, the wildest part wasn't the memes, it was the celebrity reactions. BOOSIE. Badaz hopped online with a classic "I told y'all" rant, saying, "Man, these youngins don't listen. Y'all rich and still want to play street? The streets don't play fair." Charlemagne the God chimed in on The Breakfast Club, saying, "It's sad, but it's not surprising. This is what happens when privilege tries to cosplay pain." Even 50 Cent, never one to miss a jab, posted a meme of King Harris with the caption, "Guess he finally living that life he rapped about." The internet ate it up, but while everyone was laughing, a darker truth started surfacing. Insiders claimed this wasn't just a random arrest, it was years of unresolved rebellion. Reports said King had been hanging with the wrong crowd for months, sneaking off to prove himself. Some of those same people? Nowhere to be found since his sentencing. Because when the cameras stop rolling, the real ones disappear faster than likes on an apology post. And that's when things turned emotional. T.I. finally broke his silence. He posted a black and white photo of himself and King from years ago, King's still a baby, sitting on his lap with the caption, "As a father, I've always believed in letting my children find their own way. But sometimes that way leads them down a path they're not ready for. I love my son forever through every mistake." It was heartbreaking. The same man who once told the world, "I don't raise no fools," was now living his biggest lesson in public. The post racked up millions of likes and even more opinions. Some fans flooded the comments with prayers and love. Others not so kind. "This is what happens when clout parenting goes wrong," one user wrote. Another said, "T.I. raised King to chase fame, not wisdom." Then came the flood of interviews, talk shows, and exclusive sources. Everyone suddenly had a theory. Some blamed social media for glorifying thug culture. Others blamed fame itself, saying King never had a chance to be normal. And let's not ignore the elephant in the room, T.I.'s own past. People started replaying his old interviews about expeditious discipline, his old arrests, his trap legend reputation. The irony was almost cinematic. The same man who survived the streets, now watching his son voluntarily run into them every time the public wanted a redemption arc, King gave them another headline. Even after sentencing, there were reports of him mouthing off in the courtroom, refusing to cry, saying, "I'll be fine." That bravado? It looked powerful online. But in real life, it screamed fear disguised as pride. Because here's the truth, no one on social media wanted to admit King wasn't built for the life he was glamorizing. The street code doesn't care who your daddy is. Fame doesn't get you favors in a cell block. And no amount of followers can protect you from the consequences of ego. Meanwhile, T.I. reportedly visited King the first week after sentencing. Insiders said it was tense but emotional. T.I. told him, "I can't save you this time, son." And that hit like a lyric from his own life. The same streets that once made T.I. a legend were now teaching his son a lesson that no song could ever soften Da in a world obsessed with real. This moment was as real as it gets, but of course, social media did what it does best, turn pain into entertainment. Reaction videos flooded YouTube. Thumbnails screamed, "T.I. breaks down," or "King Harris destroys his family name." Every influencer became an expert on celebrity parenting. Even reality TV producers were allegedly sniffing around, pitching the Harris family redemption. Because tragedy sells, especially when it's rich, famous, and relatable. But deep down, this wasn't entertainment. It was an echo, a reminder that fame can raise your platform but lower your guard. Because King's downfall wasn't about crime. It was about identity. He didn't know who he wanted to be, his father's legacy or his own man. And in trying to prove he was real, he lost the only thing that was real, his freedom. The whole world is talking about how T.I. reacted. But the bigger question? What happens next? Because this story isn't over. It's just getting started. When your father is a hip-hop icon, your mistakes echo louder. And when the judge says 5 years, it doesn't just lock one man up, it freezes a whole family in time. The Harris Empire? Shaken. The fans? Divided. The world? Watching Da and T.I.? Still standing, but broken in ways no Grammy could ever fix. Because in this industry, the higher you climb, the harder your fall trends. Now let's talk about the aftermath. The fallout that didn't just hit T.I. and King Harris, but shook the entire celebrity world. Because when the son of a rap legend gets 5 years in jail, it's more than news, it's a cultural earthquake. And the tremors? Oh, they're still spreading. First, let's address T.I. himself. The man who once rapped about surviving the streets and building an empire now finds himself walking a new kind of path. Fatherhood in crisis. Sources say T.I. has been laying low, spending more time with Tiny and trying to rebuild family morale. But you can see it, every public appearance, every post, every interview carries the weight of a man watching the consequences of fame collide with reality. Fans noticed it too. Social media exploded with the hashtag Tears of the King. Some people praised him for being human, for showing emotion in a world where men are supposed to stay hard. Others, predictably, dragged him for not controlling his kid better. And let's be honest, that's a classic celebrity blame game. Because when tragedy strikes, the audience loves to pick sides, not solutions. Then there's King himself. 5 years in jail is a long time, especially for a young man whose life has been on full display since birth. People speculate whether this experience will humble him, harden him, or in true reality TV fashion, turn him into the internet's next viral story. One thing's for sure, this isn't just a sentence. It's a character-building crucible. The entertainment world also took notice. Fellow artists, influencers, and pundits couldn't resist weighing in. Some tried sympathy angles, it's tough being famous young, while others used it as a cautionary tale for other celebrity kids. Boosie, Charlemagne, and even influencers with no connection to the family jumped in with hot takes, memes, and debates. The court of public opinion was relentless and predictably savage. Meanwhile, the media coverage only intensified. Every detail of the hearing, every reaction from T.I., every potential impact on King's future career became fodder for channels looking for clicks. The story didn't just trend, it dominated timelines, YouTube thumbnails, and late-night commentary. One could argue even overshadowed new music releases and other celebrity headlines. Simply because the stakes felt so real. Behind the scenes, the Harris family reportedly faced immense pressure. Tiny, often the stabilizing force, has been navigating her own emotional struggle, supporting T.I. and trying to maintain public composure. Insiders say it's been a balancing act between protecting King and handling public scrutiny, not an easy task when the world feels entitled to your family's grief. And the ripple effects? Oh, they're widespread. Sponsors, brand deals, and public appearances for the family are suddenly under scrutiny. Every social media post, every photo, every public statement could be misinterpreted. Fame and fortune are powerful, but they don't shield you from consequences. In fact, they make every misstep exponentially louder. At the same time, fans and critics alike are pondering the bigger picture. Is this a generational issue? A reflection of the challenges children of celebrities face? Or simply a story of privilege meaning poor judgment? Analysts, bloggers, and commentators dissect the nuances endlessly. Some argue that King was set up to fail, while others insist he made conscious choices that led him here. But no matter the opinion, one fact remains crystal clear. The Harris name is forever linked to this scandal. For better or worse, T.I.'s legacy as a rapper, mogul, and father is now intertwined with his son's legal troubles. Every headline, every interview, every documentary or podcast segment will reference it. History will remember this chapter, the tears, the sentence, the cultural shockwave, alongside the hits, the awards, and the empire. Even more, this story highlights an uncomfortable truth about fame, wealth, influence, and status don't insulate you from life's harsh lessons. They amplify them. And while the world can consume and comment, the family has to live it. But here's the kicker. Even in tragedy, the drama is far from over. The sentence is only the beginning. Appeals, potential parole hearings, rehabilitation programs, public statements, and viral reactions will keep this story alive. King Harris' path forward will continue to be dissected, criticized, and speculated on. And T.I., no matter how strong, will navigate the next chapter under the public microscope. The emotional, social, and cultural consequences are staggering. This is more than a celebrity scandal. This is a real-life lesson in fame, responsibility, and the pressures of growing up under the spotlight. The tears T.I. shed in court symbolize more than heartbreak. They reflect the collision of public perception, parental fear, and the raw realities of justice. And as we watch, one thing is undeniable. The internet is obsessed. Clips of the courtroom, emotional statements from T.I., and King's reactions are circulating endlessly. The memes, the hot takes, the debates, they will continue. Every year, new fans will discover this story, rewatch the footage, and react like it's happening all over again. So yes, T.I. is in tears, King Harris is in jail, and the world is watching. But the story isn't just a headline. It's a saga, a cautionary tale wrapped in fame, power, and generational legacy. Because when the crown of hip-hop royalty meets the harsh reality of the law, nobody walks away unchanged. And make no mistake, this chapter will leave scars, lessons, and questions that won't be answered anytime soon. The empire remains, but the family narrative has shifted forever. Fame, fortune, and influence can build dynasties, but they can't protect against the consequences of rebellion, choices, and the raw justice of the world. And that's exactly why everyone will be watching what happens next. And there you have it. Folks, T.I. in tears, King Harris facing 5 years behind bars, and the internet losing its collective mind like it's the finale of a Netflix thriller. This isn't just a celebrity scandal. It's a real-life soap opera, complete with courtroom drama, family heartbreak, and viral chaos. So here's what you gotta do. Smash that like button like your notifications just went off. Subscribe like your life depends on staying updated. And hit that bell like T.I. just walked into the courtroom, because trust me, this story isn't over. The aftermath is going to unfold in ways you cannot scroll past. Drop a comment below with your hot takes. Was this on King? On T.I.? Or just the brutal reality of fame colliding with consequence? We want all the receipts, all the opinions, all the shade. Make this comment section a battlefield, because the drama deserves witnesses. And don't forget, every week, scandals, secrets, and celebrity meltdowns hit harder than ever. From viral courtroom moments to Instagram explosions, we bring the chaos, the tears, and the juicy behind-the-scenes truth. So stick around, stay thirsty for the drama, and keep watching. Because the Harris saga is far from done,